Hello and welcome to Improve Your Pac-Man Scores. I'm going to give advice here that should be applicable to all versions. I'm using the Flash Pac-Man game created by Paul Neve, but this should work for whatever version of Pac-Man you're using, so I'm not going to go overboard with patterns and things because they'll be different for depending on the version you're using, but I will be giving some general strategy. But first of all, before we start playing, I've marked some difficult channels on the board. First of all, we have the escape tunnel. Unlike in other versions, in this Flash version, the ghosts don't get slowed down in there, and of course it is difficult to clear because you have to keep an eye on what's going on the other side of the board. But fortunately it doesn't have any dots in, so you don't actually need to use it. Then we have the two widey channels below the exit tunnel. They're not so bad the first time because they contain a power pill, but on subsequent occasions they're quite long and it's easy to get caught in it. It's also very easy to get caught in the two long channels below it, precisely because they're so long. And then we have the two channels above the ghost's pen. They're difficult to clear even if you have a power pill, because the ghosts will just return there and rejuvenate. So it's actually quite difficult to clear them, regardless of whether you've got a power pill or not, whereas the other difficult channels can be cleared with a power pill. Now let's start playing. Bearing in mind what I've just said, this opening is going to try and clear at least one of the long channels at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is go straight to the left, then down, and then clear the left half of the long bottom corridor. And because the ghosts are miles away, I can quite safely clear the other half as well, and that's two of the difficult channels dealt with. Now I pick up a power pill, that's difficult channel number 3, and because I've lured the ghost so near, I can get quite a lot of bonus points from it. Now I hold for a bit, ghost goes one way, I go the other way, and once again I pick up my second power pill and hunt down 3 ghosts to get 1400 bonus points. Notice here how I'm working in quarters. I'm clearing 1 quarter at a time essentially, just stopping to clear those difficult channels. There we are, dodging again, ghost goes one way, I go the other. That is an important thing. Remember, the ghosts can't do that, so that's an advantage that you have over the ghosts. Now that I've used my last power pill, I just clear the rest and I'm done, and on to level 2. Okay, now I've marked a few channels at the top here because they're a good place to outmaneuver the ghosts. A very good place to do this whole ghost goes one way, I go the other trick, because they have to go all the way around a long square to get to you. The only risk here is if all 4 of the ghosts are in that bit at once, so don't get trapped up there with all 4 ghosts because they can corner you very easily, but if there's just 1 or 2, that is a good place to outmaneuver them. And now I'm going to skip over level 2 and go straight onto level 3. So I do a fairly similar opening, hold for a bit to lure the ghosts down that tunnel, just misdirecting it, and now I have to do a bit of fancy manoeuvring in order to clear the second difficult channel at the bottom, but I've managed it. And notice how I didn't pick up that ghost. The reason why was because it didn't fit into my pattern, and I'd probably have to do a lot of running around later as I picked up the ghost to clear those channels. I could have got 1600 points by eating that ghost, but to me, preserving my lives is more important. It's always more important to try and stay alive than to try and pick up risky bonus points. But I'm going to show you an example of what not to do now. Okay, so I've got the ghosts away, and now I'm using my power pill a bit too early. First of all, I should have paid more attention to clearing those other channels. That's what I've done now, but notice I've got those 2 difficult channels above the ghost's pen left. I should not have done that. And now I am about to get eaten as a result. There we are. And that's very bad because now I have to do a lot more running around to get back up to the other channel than I would have done, and I risk losing a second life as a result. Notice how convoluted my route up there is, but I've done it. Now, that's the start of level 4 you can see, but I'm not going to show you levels 4 or 5, I'm going to go straight on to level 6, and that's because after level 6 the gameplay strategy changes quite a bit. And the reason is this: as you go further up the levels, the ghosts remain vulnerable after eating a power pill for progressively shorter times. By the time you reach level 6, they're not vulnerable for very long at all, so collecting the dots becomes even more of a priority, and eating the ghosts becomes even less of a priority. Now, here we are at the end of level 5 and the start of level 6, and now I'm going to show you an alternative opening. Instead of going down the bottom corridor immediately, you pick up the power pill, then whilst you've got it you clear the long bottom corridor. This method is perhaps safer, you're less likely to lose a life from it, even though I just did there, but it'll probably score you less points, so it's up to you which one you use. The reason why I got cornered there wasn't, by the way, because of the method I used, it was because I was stupid and went down that corridor when I shouldn't have done. Now, still working in quarters, and I probably used that power pill a little too early. Now, here's what I was talking about earlier. It's a very fancy little manoeuvre there, but it's got me out. As I said, this top bit is a very good place to outmanoeuvre the ghosts. And let's see. Once again, used my power pill a little too early, but it doesn't matter. I can outmanoeuvre the ghosts quite easily, and I am on to level 7. So, now I've sort of got a bit of a combination of the openings from the first two there. I started off with the opening I used for level 6, but because of the way the ghosts moved, I could quite safely turn that into the opening from level 1. Now, I just clear some difficult channels, and finally pick up my second power pill. Anyway, I hope that this video has given you a good idea of how to improve your scores on Pac-Man. So have fun playing, and Happy New Year. Until next time, goodbye.